triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball.
Big time players step up in big games. That's all I gotta say.
Feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double.
Santana Moss. Right now, after my playing career, I was fortunate enough to stay in Washington. NBC Sports picked me up about in 2016, where I was brought on to be a game day analyst, basically covering the Redskins at the time. And fast forward to now, it's 2022. I'm still a part of their pre and post game shows on NBC Sports, but I also work hands-on with the team as well, which is now the Commanders, doing analyst work for them also. So I have a couple of shows throughout the year. I did radio a lot for them the past few years, and for some other local stations too. But I guess right now you can call me a full-time, football analyst. Yeah, played in the NFL I got drafted in 2001. And my last year played was 2014. So I had 14 years in the league, and been 14 good ones. Well, it was, it's crazy, man, because you look back at some of the things that goes on now with these kids and how they highly sought out and 4-star, 5-star, you name it. I can't even count all the stars that they give guys now. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of those guys. But I was fortunate enough to have track behind me where I got a lot of attention through winning state in the triple jump and long jump my junior year, and taking my team or coming home with the first state championship as a team, for my high school ever in track. And we kind of took that momentum and sprung into our football season my senior year and won state, as a football team. So all that stuff that kind of transpired, between my junior year with the track season going into my senior year with football, it kind of put a lot of attention on me. And so teams was coming after me for track. And luckily and fortunately, I was a football player that, the teams that were scratching their head about me football wise, they gave me an opportunity or, gave me a visit, but I ended up in Miami, to a team that didn't give me a scholarship, but they knew that I had football in my background. And from some of the other guys that they watched on my team, they was able to say, hey, you know what, if this guy does come in as a track guy, since the University of Miami track team won him, we're comfortable enough with allowing him to walk on. Well, I really didn't know the experience of what other guys got. So, just with having some kind of recognition from the others, from schools, period, was okay with me. Like, I didn't like the whole fact that people was looking at me as a track guy, especially when I wasn't a big time sprinter. I mean, I know on the football field, they knew that I was fast, and I could have easily been a sprinter in track also, but I kind of opted out because of the situation of me even just running, my junior year all over again. I didn't even want to run. It was up to my friends and my head coach on the football team that kind of gave me that, that notion to go out there and do it. So I did it. But track had always been in my background. And I was kind of rubbed wrong a little bit to know that University of Miami wanted me for track. Mm-hmm. But it was also, as I look back at it now, it was like, this one of the things I've always done in my life is took advantage of every opportunity, you know what I mean? And when I say that, is that even though I was being hard-headed and didn't want no parts of it at first, something just told me to sit back and think about it and, look at the opportunity and then look at what will happen if you don't take the opportunity. And so that's what I did. I weighed the situation like, okay, yes, I am getting a little attention from northern schools with football, but right now, the hometown favorite school, the school that's right in your backyard that you've been known to watch and see them do work, they notice you. Yeah, it's not for football, but they're allowing you to use what you have to come and be a football player. Why not take that? And trust me, I slept on it, man. And I thought about it, and I'm like, I'd be a fool not to take advantage of this opportunity, because opportunities don't always come to you. And I'm pretty sure I shared this with you before. My high school coach always had a saying that opportunity, preparation, it's something. I'll get back to it, but it was a saying that I use to this day. It's a quote I use, and I'm sure right now I'm got a brain freeze with it, but it's on top of my head. But I've always used it, and it kind of got me to say, okay, you know what? This is that opportunity that he's talking about. I'm prepared for it, so take advantage of it. And so that's what really kind of made me say, you know what? Let me go ahead and take advantage of this opportunity, because if I don't, I feel like crap knowing that I had a chance to really play on on that level. I just had to go out there and, and do what I do to show them I could do it. Well, my first year as a rookie, freshman, true freshman, whatever you want to call it, it's odd because I really didn't know the rules of how they do things as far as dressing guys and stuff. And I understood that our team was kind of decimated when it comes to just scholarships. It was a lot of freshmen playing, and these guys, the first 4 games, it was so many different. It was red shirt freshmen and freshmen. We kind of we was the nucleus of the team. Yes, we had some older guys here and there spread out, but you can see from the start, man, this team is driven right now from the guys who was here last year and the guys that's coming in that's here now with me. And so out the gate, I got Reggie Wayne, Darryl Jones, those 2 guys that I'm in the meeting rooms with every day. They're playing, and I'm sitting back damn, if I was on scholarship or if I was supposed to, had a chance to play this year, I can be doing the same thing, because I'm out here competing with these guys. And, Reggie played a different position than me. So, and Reggie was like the receiver core. He was like our guy. We knew instantly that, man, this guy's different. He caught every ball. He just ran routes, crisp. He just looked like he was, prototype already, as a rookie. But then the guy who was in front of me, Darryl Jones, he was fast like me. When I kind of measured us, and I used to watch him, because you got to watch that guy in front of you, because you want to know what you got to do to get there. I knew it wasn't about skill. I knew it was because of the opportunity that he was presenting, having a scholarship, and I was a guy that's a walk-on that I can't play until next year. So I just sit back and say, okay, I have to make sure I'm right behind this guy. So every time our numbers is called, I got to go out there and make a play that's going to either be equal to what he's doing or better. And so that's how I kind of did things. But watching those guys, it just motivated me, knowing that, look, I can have my shot if the situation was different. And lo and behold, we in a game, the 4th game or 5th game, I think it was the 4th game of the season. And I dressed the first 4 games. That was automatic for anybody who was a freshman. And good thing that I've always prepared myself as a guy who's going to play. I just got thrown into the game. I went from not even taking my helmet on the field while the game was going on to the 4th game. It was a night game. We the only game on TV. And I'm like, I refuse to leave this helmet inside the locker room, so I'm just going to take it on the field with me. And one of our guys, Jamie German, at the time, he was highly heralded, guy that was from Florida, Fort Myers, Florida. He was one of the superstars in college football that couldn't play that year as a receiver. He had gotten some trouble, so he was helping out as a coach. And he got a call in, and he just looked down and said, "You in?" And I'm like, "There's no way I'm in." You know what I mean? And so that's how it all started, bro, honestly. And that particular play that he threw me in the game, I got the ball thrown at me and I got the first down. And that was how I got introduced into college football. You know what? It'd be crazy if I just say I didn't learn much. I learned a lot. But the one thing that I think I had going for myself is just that had been the story of my life. Honestly, growing up in, Liberty City, to a family you know, where I had a lot of older cousins that I was always trying to be down. You know what I'm saying? You want to be down with the cousins. You want to be down with what's going on. You get that cold shoulder sometimes. You get that like, hey, no, you know, you're not old enough, or you can't do, you know, X, Y, Z with us. So I felt like I always had to prove, you know, or earn that spot. Mm-hmm. And even as I got to playing football, you know, I wanted to play early. Remember coaches coming from the boys club trying to get me to play. My mom was like, nah, you know, and then I finally got a chance to play. And then it was like, man, instant success. And then every year it was like you had to earn notoriety or earn your spot all over again, because now you're playing on a new team, new coaches, new pound. You know, we had different weight classes down here in Florida. Mm-hmm. So it was like that all my life. And then you get to high school, you go to a school that don't even throw the ball. So now you have to really earn the trust of the head coach to, look, you throw me a pass, I'm gonna catch it. You throw me a pass, I'm gonna make something happen. So that has been the story of my life. So having this opportunity to go to school, it was perfect. It was like the right recipe. It was like almost like, okay, this is what I need, something that's gonna get me in the door. And now you lived this already. You've already been a part of something like this. This is how you basically became who you are. Mm-hmm. Guys, a few guys in here that know you from your home, you know, from back home, from just, you know, our neighborhoods. They know what you can do, because they saw it on the field playing when no one else was watching, when we didn't have no tape on us. Show these coaches and these other guys what it's like to be a guy like yourself that played among some of the best from high school to little league, but never got your true notoriety or never got your true, you know, that he's here or he's that guy. Show these guys. And it was easy. I never went out on the field with it in my head. It was just natural, because I felt like I've always had to earn it. So it's another time to go out here and do what I know how to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go out here and earn my spot, because this has been my life and it's not something new. It's not like I'm trying to really go out here and get their attention. Yes, I am, but it's not something that I'm thinking about, because it basically has been with me from the day I ever tried to do anything, you know what I mean, in life. You know what I mean? I've always had to wear that coat of trying to be, you know, being recognized. And so it was just something natural for me. You know, as much as I didn't think of that, a lot of that stuff, like I say, everything I've done, it kind of been, I'm wired a little different, you know. And when I say that, is that I never put too much on my shoulders, you know, because we get caught up in the hype of what somebody else may say that's for them. You can't say it's for you. I'm not a guy that write down goals. I'm not a guy that try to say that I gotta outdo that guy because he's so good. No, I'm just learning that I can be good too if you give me an opportunity. So I never carried that kind of weight on me, that added pressure of saying, I got to do this because of this guy. I got to do this because of these people who watching. It was just naturally done, you know? I was naturally able to go out there and say, I have to lead by example. Not saying that that's something that I have to do. It's just, that's the way I knew how. It was instilled in me from day one. I've never been a big talker, so the only way I'm gonna be recognized or someone will hear from me or see me is if I go out there and do work. So it was just naturally done. Like, I led by example all my life. You know, my two younger brothers, when we was out at the park, when it was time for those guys to come and play, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna get my brothers and I'm gonna go play with them. You know, it was just in me. I never really knew what I was doing. Some of the things I think back on, I've done, I'm like, damn, what made me do that? Because I didn't have no thoughts. I didn't have any, I'm doing it for this reason, I'm doing it for that reason. So it was just naturally, it was instilled in me. So when I look back and you say, the people that's watching, the one thing I never wanted to do is not be successful. Right. So I've always did things accordingly to saying, okay, this is gonna make me successful. Like, I can't just be happy to be here, because I've seen those guys. I've seen plenty of guys that that guy played for Alabama A&T. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting in the neighborhood, like, watching Alabama A&T, like, well, damn, I ain't seen him yet. Mm-hmm. You know, he wear the shirt when he come home, you know what I mean? Or that guy played for South Carolina. And I'm watching South Carolina game and like, damn, or then they showed him, he got on the field and he got off the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I didn't want.
Mm-hmm.
And just being a part of the environment that I grew up in, folks are not, it's tough. We're tough. Our culture, everything about who we are as Black men, it's hard, bro. And a lot of people don't look at it that way, but bro, we don't give each other the benefit of the doubt unless we are stars, unless we've highly successful. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, you can't just make it, or you can't just get out and guys be happy for you. They really want to see you be that guy. So I was always scared of failure, not necessarily because of what somebody's going to say, but because of how I was going to feel. And I knew just getting here wasn't going to satisfy me. I need to be a guy making those plays, because I know if given the opportunity, I can make those plays. So all that stuff just happened. It happened because of the will in me not to just be happy with just being here. I didn't want to just be here. I wanted to be the guy, as you heard that name, damn, Santana Moss, and you let a lot of guys tell it, like Reggie used to say, like, man, your name just, your name speaks for itself. It was going to be heard. You know what I mean? Reggie like, man, see, your name just go with it. Like, and I didn't think of it like that when I was younger. But when you think about it now, it's something about it that rings, and it was only right for me to be the guy that, that toted it around and be able to be special with it. So I took full advantage of that, and me not wanting to fail basically made everybody that looked up to me, that was able to say I'm from where they from, my brothers who got a chance to really relish. I was just asking my friend the other day, I was watching the highlight of mine, and I say, bro, I'm watching this, my junior year kickoff classic game. We was in Giant Stadium. I say, bro, do you know I'm just realizing that we played in the stadium where I was drafted to. Didn't even resonate to me, even after I played that game. And I say, bro, tell me how you felt when you watched them highlights that day. Because I know you probably ain't watched the game. He was in college too. He say, Tan, I'm gonna tell you, bro. He say, bro, when you used to play, it was guys that followed you, man, that wanted to be you. Like, they would know your stats. They would know, you like, man, they would come to me, Tan, I got another one. Tan, and so I'm sitting there like, wow, because now this is crazy. I'm having this story, sharing this story because I never got a chance to do that for myself. See what I'm saying? I would do things and it was right back to the drawing board. I clipped it, it's behind me, gotta do it again, Tan. I feared not being him. So every week it was like, you gotta repeat. And now it doesn't always work out that way because of how things always transpire with plays and just other guys gonna get an opportunity. But I made sure that I didn't rest unless I was doing what I had to do when that opportunity came again. I'll be that same guy or even better. So that's how I pretty much live, man. I never really put too much on me or thought about who I was affecting or basically, inspiring. You know what I'm saying? I just went out there and said, I'm inspiring myself for one, because this is what I wanted to do all my life. So it's no doubt, or it's nothing in me that I would feel, right about if I didn't go out here and took full advantage and be the guy who I sought to be. I think back to the moment that I had a chance to really share a little bit who I am. When you, as rookies or as freshmen, you all get put in that big team meeting room. Everybody stands up and say, my name's such and such. I'm from this city, this high school. I'm a wide receiver, and blah, blah, blah. What I didn't know at the University of Miami, we had the state football scholarship, track scholarship. So I had to stand up and say, Santana Moss, from Miami, went to Miami Carroll City Senior High, track scholarship, I'm a wide receiver. I felt so low at the time where I heard everybody else says football scholarship. I felt this big. And that was my motivation. That's all I needed. Because when I said that, I can see everybody just go, like, okay, we ain't worried about him.
Yeah.
And that's all I needed to see. Those people that doubted me before they even saw me. like I said before, I had 2 or 3 guys that played with me or either grew up with me that was on the team already. So they knew. And one of the guys came in with me. He was a guy that was highly sought out. He was a safety at my high school. We played Little League together, high school together, and now here we are playing college together and we roommates. So he's the only guy that really knows that I'm here for a reason. You know, or that I'm going to be competing with these guys on the highest level. A lot of them didn't know, but for those who didn't know, that's on them. Yeah. And that's the moment I felt small, but that was my motivation. That's all I needed. I needed to feel that same feeling I felt all my life. So, you know, I just tell folks, man, use this opportunity to use it well, use it wisely. You know, when you under the radar, sometimes it's best to be under the radar. Because now the ceiling for expectation is endless. You don't really have a ceiling. You understand? They don't know what you can be. So they just like, yeah, that's a walk-on. Yeah, that's such and such. They said he has potential. That's cool. Because when a lot of these guys can't handle the pressure when they come in, highly sought out, 4-star, 5-star, then they get to college and you don't hear about them. So when you have the opportunity, and everybody don't want to come in that way. I'm not saying that, you know, want to be a walk-on. No, you want to have the opportunity where your mom, you can basically have a full free ride and your parents don't have to worry about your tuition. All that stuff is great. But luckily I didn't have those worries. It's just the fact that I still had to walk on. Just use it as motivation. And if you really the guy who you say you are or who you think you are, you'll show them. You'll show them. You know, actions speak louder than words. And just because you're not able to sit there and feel proud about having a scholarship, use that as motivation. Say, I don't have it, I want it, and I'm gonna go take his. Or I'm gonna go take his. Or I'm gonna compete at a level to where they think it's impossible for me to be here without one. And that's what I did. I mean, honestly, and like I said, unconsciously. Didn't go into the game thinking like that. Didn't go into practice thinking like that. It was embedded in me. And you saw it every day on film. I remember sitting in film and the coach was like, cut the lights on. Y'all saw this? Rewind that play. And I'm sitting there like, and I got older guys hitting me on my leg like, hey, bro. And so I knew the feeling, you know what I mean? But I've been there. You see what I'm saying? I've been there. So it wasn't new. And even as a person that's, you know, you getting a little success, and I call it success because now when people know you and when your peers talk about you, that's, you arrive, you here. You know, when you got whispered in your locker room, like, hey, y'all see that boy over there? And I was wearing 48. So you can give me the stankest number and I'm talked about in a good way. So when you see and hear those whispers and rumbles, and then coach is saying, hey, stay out the practice for a minute. I wanna holler at you about something. I did something. And I did it right. You know, I did something right. I raised some eyebrows. And so that's what I would tell these guys, man, just go out there with a mission to raise a couple of eyebrows every day about something you did right. And eventually those things add up and then it get contagious. And that's all you want to do is be successful. So now you're gonna dive in even deeper. And in that playbook, you're gonna dive in even deeper, watching your film, and it's gonna show. And guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna play so well, they have no choice but to recognize your play and give you a scholarship or give you a spot next to that guy who's supposed to be, you know, highly sought out and one of the guys that they put stars on, 4-star, 5-star. When you play next to those guys, stars don't matter. You know what I mean? Who cares about a star? You can go out here and dominate. That's what I tell them.